After recapping the girls' golf season last week, it's time to share the spotlight with the boys this time around. Hello and welcome to Sports Talk. I'm Tyler Sloan. It was a great season for all three boys golf teams in McKinney ISD, 2 district championships, and a state tournament appearance among the group. There's a lot to be proud of and a lot to discuss. We tee off next on Sports Talk. Now joined by McKinney Lions boys head coach Chris Rednour of the golf team. And Coach, it was another good season for your team. You finished 5th at the district tournament. You finished ahead of 2 of the A teams from other teams in your district. You fell only short of the 2 Boyd teams, Allen as well as Plano West. And of course, Plano West and Boyd, their A teams, went to the state tournament. So a very good result for your team in district, probably where you kind of expected them to be going into the year.
Yeah, I would hope we'd have played a little bit better, and but I mean, those are 2 very good teams that made it all the way to state. It represents our district very well. But I thought the boys played really hard, and they tried as much as they could, but the conditions were really terrible. And they played the best they could. It just wasn't good enough this year.
When you have conditions like they were for the district tournament, where it's wet, it's windy, it's not ideal weather for golf, what are some of the things that you try to tell your kids to do that maybe they have to do differently than if the course it's nice and sunny outside, the course is in perfect condition?
Well, mostly it's about mental toughness. You have to just ignore the conditions, and we practice all year round in those conditions, so it's not like they're not used to it. There's many days in February you'll go to the golf course and the only people out there is us. You know, the members don't come out there, so they're able to handle it. It's just you mentally have to have a checklist, and you're you know, got my umbrella here, got this here, got here, and don't let the elements bother you. Just take your time and do your thing. And I think they get a pretty good job of it. But I would take sunny and no wind, you know, next year if we can get it.
Now, although you finished in 5th place, everybody behind you was well behind you in the standings, at least 10 strokes back to 6th place. And notice all 5 of your players on your A team, they finished pretty close together. There wasn't necessarily 2 guys well ahead of everybody else on the team. All 5 players were only separated by 14 strokes in their district totals over the 2 days.
I used 4 different guys as our #1 player this year. We didn't have a standout like we've had the last few years, somebody that could shoot well under par, and we've had that the last 4 or 5 years. Both Spencer and Garrett shot even par at different times, and that was their best score ever. But yeah, I had 4 different guys play the #1 spot, but they all were really close in their abilities, the top 4 guys.
Garrett Kelly had the best score of your team in district. Jacob Flores is only 1 shot behind him, and then you have Spencer Dillard, Chance Trevino, and Colin Foster. Now, 2 of those are seniors that'll graduate, but you return 3 from your top 5, and then you also have a lot of players as well from the JV team that are going to be moving up to solidify your group for next season.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the year with the JV team. They're a very competitive group. I've got several sophomores and freshmen that I think are going to be fine players, you know, and I want to provide the opportunity for them to find their way to the top 5. They got to put in the effort, though. Like I said, I'll provide the opportunity. They need to provide the effort.
You won a tournament this year, the Ranch View Invitational, and you also had 4 second-place finishes, and it always seemed like somebody from your district, Boyd or West, would be up there in the tournament, and that was just the one hurdle you couldn't get over to capture multiple titles this year.
Oh yeah, and we usually win between 3 and 4 tournaments a year. And this year, like you said, of the 4 second place, 3 times were to Boyd and or West, who both made it to state. And we did win the Ranch View tournament at the Tribute, and the boys did really well that day. And I'm looking forward to next year, you know, and seeing what happens with these guys coming up. And they're going to work all summer and get ready to go, and watching them mature. And I really am a big believer in Garrett and Spencer coming back and being the leaders as seniors for us.
Of course, McKinney High, they stay put in 5A, so you have a whole new crop of teams coming into your district, including McKinney North, who is the district champions from 13 4A. So it's going to be a good battle, good test for you next year in your district among the top 3 or 4 teams to see who's going to be able to go to regionals and then possibly have a chance to go to state?
I think it'll be very competitive, and we're familiar with all those teams. I mean, as the year goes on, we play in different tournaments, and you 5A, 4A, 3A, it doesn't matter. All of us are at the same, so you get a good chance to compare yourself to each other. But yeah, it'll be nice to be with North again. You know, we've been rivals for a long time, and I've known Coach Harden for a long time. We're good friends. And I know the Prospers coming into that district also. Coach Kirkland and I are also good friends. So I think it'll be a good competition. It'll be a lot of fun. We're planning on playing at Hurricane Creek next year, and that's a good neutral site for, you know, Sherman and Denison to come down and us to go up to, up in Anna. So I'm very much looking forward to it. And I think it'll be a good year and hopefully a great one. Maybe we can do something special.
What was maybe the most memorable moment or something you're going to really remember and take away from this year's group of players that you coach?
Oh, just watching how they progressed. I mean, you know, with Jacob and Chance graduating, remembering where they were as freshmen and seeing how they progressed and how complete players they became and how hard they tried and everything. And that's the best part about coaching is you take them when they're really young and then you get to see them progress and become men and, you know, good men and good golfers at the same time.
Now on the PGA Tour of late, the hot guy that everybody's been talking about is Jordan Spieth, and of course he went to Jesuit, which is a local school here in Dallas. Sure. And I was curious, have you had a chance in the past when he was playing at Jesuit, did you see him in tournaments and did you see him play?
Yeah, Brett Peters used to play for us, graduated in '09. He played with him one day when we were at the tribute when we got matched up with him. I watched Jordan make a triple bogey on the 17th hole, so he's not always been as good as he is now. But yeah, I've seen him play quite a few times, and he's a wonderful young man.
Are your golfers that you have on your team, do they talk about him a lot right now? And has he sort of maybe inspired some guys to go out there and play golf?
Yeah, they talk about him a lot because he's young, but I mean, we try to hold Hunter up as our role model because he graduated from our high school and he's in the top 10 in the world also. I mean, he's up there. But yeah, it's just strange for them, and they ask questions about Jordan because 3 years ago he was in high school, and now he's out on the pro tour, and he went to my college, UT, which I was very glad, and they won the national championship. It's just his second year on the pro tour. So they're very curious about him, and they're always asking me, did you see so-and-so play? Yeah, I've been doing this for 23 years now, so I've seen a lot of them come through, the younger ones, and it's fun to watch them as pros now.
And you mentioned Hunter. He came oh so close last year to winning a major championship. He's been that final pairing a couple of times. Yeah. Do you think he's going to break through here in the next couple of years and finally take down a major title?
I sure hope he will. I mean, he certainly works at it, and you know, I didn't coach him. I mean, that was a few years before I got there, but I got to watch him play. I was at a different high school then, and yeah, I think he'll eventually get it done. The more times you knock on the door, eventually you can go on through it.
We'll certainly see if he's able to accomplish that. And congratulations again, Coach, on your year at McKinney High School for finishing 5th at the district tournament, and good luck to you next year in the new 10-5A.
Okay, thank you. It was good to visit with you.
That's McKinney High School golf season with their head coach, Rednour.